We're doing this again, huh? I thought it was done. I thought it was dead. I thought we could leave it behind. But now, like a zombie outbreak, ironic of the time, the leaks have returned. And now apparently Apple saying a project is canceled isn't enough for you. Doesn't matter if Apple says they're not going to do it. None of that matters. All that matters is that if there's any glimmer of a leak or an analyst telling you that AirPower might come out, then it's official. Then it's confirmed for everybody. That's all that matters. This stupid, unnecessary, overpriced, overcomplicated, impractical product you guys just hang on to so desperately. So I'm here to crush your dreams. That's what I'm here to do with AirPower specifically. I'm an Apple sheep. I enjoy Apple products. I will defend Apple anytime I believe myself they are in the right. This is not one of those times. Also, it doesn't make sense. The latest leak claiming the A11 chip would go in a charger. The first Apple made CPU capable of recording 4K at 60 with a neural engine that they put in the iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and iPhone 10. They put in the iPhone 10 to help manage the original True Depth sensor, the original Face ID. Yeah, we need that to manage power because there's 32 coils in this thing and we need to maintain power management. So we're going to put in a freaking iPhone CPU. A powerful one at that. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. Thank you for the 1,000 bits, Chris Norton. You have the moves. Love the Office. Thank you. I love The Office too. My Office or the show The Office? The show The Office is much better. Thank you for the donation. Hey, Cinders is in the chat. Good to see you. I'm here to fight you because I'd give Apple copious amounts of money for AirPower. I'm here to tell you why that's stupid. For one, the arguments people have for AirPower can be made by other product purchases. Being a 3-in-1 charger has been done, and Apple themselves endorses other companies who have made 3-in-1 chargers that you can exclusively buy from Apple. Get your 3% cash back if you want it. Probably float and be angled towards the user. But when they unveiled AirPower, loop watch bands were not that common. Since then, they've become very, very common. A lot of people have loop bands now because a lot of people like Velcro watch bands. That does not work with AirPower. And the only reason AirPower had a hard time releasing was not because they couldn't find a way to make a wireless charge mat that you could place the phone anywhere else. That can be done. It's been done. You can buy that product. It's $200 and it supports up to 2 devices at the same time, and yeah, you can charge it anywhere. The only reason they couldn't figure out AirPower was because they wanted you to be able to drop the Apple Watch on there, which uses this weird wireless charging tech that's not Qi enabled. That was the only reason. And a lot of people are wearing watch bands that aren't even capable. So this leak that we got this morning is showing that maybe an Apple employee has a prototype on one. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. I don't care. My point is, it showcases the stupidity because you have to unhook the watch band to get it to charge. And I don't buy anyone saying, well, maybe it works through the watch band. If it did, the guy wouldn't have to take off the watch band. Like, if the whole angle you're trying to come at AirPower with is convenience, it takes a second to unhook the band. It takes a second to put the Apple Watch on the charge puck. If the whole argument is convenience, then that is infinitely less convenient than any other 3-in-1 charger that lets you just drop the Apple Watch on a specific part of the charger. Having more flexibility of 6 inches, that's not freedom. That's not a drastically different experience than just dropping the watch on any other 3-in-1 charger. You take the watch off, you drop it on a charge mat. Okay, well, on this one I have 6 inches to choose from. Except there's going to be a phone there, and AirPods there, since you don't have to take off your phone. You just set it down. So it's really more like 3 inches of freedom compared to just a charge puck. I know because I use an AirPower knockoff every night. I'm not joking. Ever since I got the AirPower knockoff in the mail, that's been my nightstand charger. And you know what? It's fine. And it costs $30. Expos 1 donated 500 bits. You're lucky you're not into sports. Is I missing mine? I agree. I am super lucky. I don't give a crap about sports. It sounds awful. Anytime I see people getting involved in it, it's like they wrap their identity up with logos and stuff. Tech community's kind of like that, a little bit different. 3-in-1 charger sucks. Besides, my Apple Watch band lays flat, as do most people. AirPower is a 3-in-1 charger. So Scott had just confirmed he hates AirPower because he says 3-in-1 chargers suck, and that's what AirPower is. Thank you, Scott. I'm glad you came around on this one. I prefer your office over NBC's The Office. Okay, whatever. Let's see. A8 or A9 at most, in my opinion. Yeah, the A11 does not need to be in a charger. That doesn't make any sense to me. The A11 chip powers an entire phone's operating system. It has to manage a camera. It has to manage the operating system. It has to manage the digitizer, the display. They put A8 chips in HomePods, and that's a dedicated product. That's not even a charger. That's something that has Siri that you have to talk to and communicate with. A11 chip, just so that you can manage power? Maybe it's real, but it is definitely an internal product. It is not something I do not think they would sell that. And if they did, it would sell horribly, and it would be mocked like the Pro Stand, which I also don't agree with. I think it's stupid. Let's see. Overachiever, thank you for the donation. Might be a little bit off topic. You should just make that your name because that's most of your questions. It's fine though. Might be a little bit off topic since me just joining the stream, but I saw your vlog on paying off the mortgage, and that's most impressive. I'm really into finances and are always interested in what you have to say on financial topics and is trying to become debt-free at the moment too. Thank you. Appreciate the donation. And yes, glad we were able to pay the house off. A10 was in the original. A11 is being used now because it can manage heat dynamically. Gonna be expensive. Thanks for reviving the zombie product, Jern. This is all your fault. I'm gonna blame you for all of this now. And if it doesn't come out, I'm gonna blame you too. Because we thought it was dead. Apple saying it's not coming out wasn't enough, and now you've revived it for everybody, and now they all think it's real again. This is all your fault. This is all your fault. Pro Stand is only mocked because it doesn't have an A11 chip. That's true, Raja. If they put an A11 chip in the Pro Stand, everyone would be fine with it, I'm sure. 50 bits from Vinny. Drew, the Apple over-ears should be called head pods. That sounds weird. I don't want to say head pods. That just sounds wrong. Don't blame me. Yes. Good, you accept. You're the cause of this. I don't care if you have a source that claims this. You could have kept that to yourself because Apple themselves said it's been canceled. Name a time in the past where they've announced something's been canceled and then released it after. Doubt it. I don't doubt that there's prototypes being tested internally, but I don't think that means it's coming out. If it had a Slofi button, I would love it. Exactly. If AirPower had a Slofi button, then it would be the best Apple product of all time. They should call the over-ears Airheads. No, I think they might run into copyright issues with that. Can you stream at nighttime, like late nights with Drew? Not really, because I try to do all my work in the morning best I can. I just finished a tech video. It'll drop in about an hour. And I think I could rearrange my schedule a bit, but I don't want to. That's the only reason. I don't have a good answer. I just don't. I like having the nights off and have the mornings to be busy. Let's see. Apple could buy Tidal and then brand them Tidal Pods. Great idea. Let's see. AirPower needs a 30-pin USB connector. That's what we need. Bring back the Slofi button, 30-pin connector. Oh, well. Apple should focus on their own brand of a small wireless stand to get people ready for portless iPhone. I've already explained this in the Talos of Tech podcast, but I know not everyone listens to that. So I'm going to reiterate it for you today. AirPower is stupid because you can't use the nightstand mode properly on the Apple Watch. The idea is that you can have the Apple Watch facing upwards so that when it's charging and at night, you can see what time it is. AirPower doesn't let you do that. I know this because I have an AirPower knockoff, and that's kind of annoying. If I had the charge stand upright, I could actually see the watch when I hit my nightstand. It just goes off at any motion detected by the accelerometer, and it doesn't work with loop bands. Link bracelets, Milanese loops, sport loops. Half of the watch bands you buy are loop bands. Don't act like that's one specific type. And it's a very popular one, by the way. So many people buy loop bands now. and it wouldn't work with AirPower without having to unhook the Apple Watch band. Which if your argument is I need AirPower because it's more convenient, this is a whole extra step you wouldn't have to take with other 3-in-1 chargers that have accompanied that. And if they would just take the Apple Watch charge puck that does both, it can lay flat or rest up. They've already been selling that for years now. I have one myself. Works great. If they just took that and put Qi coils on either side of it, just put one on the left, one on the right, brand it AirPower, you've made something 20 times cheaper than AirPower. You've made something more practical than AirPower, something that doesn't require an A10 or an A11 chip. I don't care what it uses. It's stupid that it would require an iPhone CPU to manage power. I don't like infinitely more simple and more practical. That's all they would need. That's my point in today's video. I do think Apple needs their own charger, but it should not be something crazy and over the top like AirPower. Because what that's proving, I don't care about the arguments people are making if they're making the argument of, well, they want to get people on board with wireless charging or they want to get people comfortable with wireless charging. This is not the way to do it. The solution is not, well, you can drop your watch or your AirPods or your phone anywhere, but it's $400. That's not it, because now no one's going to get on board with it. Now everyone's going to critique Apple and say, oh, they think wireless charging is expensive. You can buy this charger for a fraction of the cost. It's not going to work. You're not going to get people on board if they have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a 3-in-1 charger. People will just put up with wires if that's the alternative. You have to not just make it functional, but you also have to make it affordable. It can't. The combat should not come from the charger's end on making the Apple Watch more versatile with its charging mechanisms. The combat should come from the Apple Watch design. Making the Series 6 compatible with every Qi charger is what they should be focusing on. Not making this ultra complicated, super expensive. This is not the way to go. This is how you get people steered away from wireless charging. It will be mocked to death if they release this. It will be mocked like the Pro Stand. You know, you see how many people were already upset about the $350 keyboard case? I agree it's expensive, but I don't think it's overpriced. Those are two different things. It's a high-tier item, but there's nothing that offers it for cheaper, so I don't consider it overpriced. AirPower, however, that would be overpriced. They're going way too complicated with it if these leaks are real. Let's see. AirPower needs, 30-pin and USB-C at the same time. Do that, I'd buy it. Thank you, Scott. Joke's on you, nightstand mode is stupid. I'm kidding, I love how wireless chargers are our biggest disagreement in the tech community. Scott, I don't care if you fill a paragraph in the chat. Tell me why AirPower makes sense, despite the fact that there are cheaper, Apple-certified and Apple-endorsed 3-in-1 chargers that allow you to use nightstand mode, that allow you to use loop bands, that don't require iPhone CPUs to manage their power, that don't cost $300. Name me the reason. Make a paragraph for me. Cinders donated $0.25. I watched 2 terrible Monster Energy ads for these bits. Cinders, that wasn't worth it at all. Thank you though. Don't watch those ads. What are you guys donating for? My house is paid off. I got no there's no reason. Thank you, Vinny. During Apple over-ears should be called HeadPods. I read that one. Yeah, no, they shouldn't. I have a solution. An iPhone that never needs charging. Cinder's living in 3020 over here. Thank you. AirPower is more of a love letter to the tech community like the HomePod, but honestly, if it's this complex, I'd be fine with your version of the Apple Watch puck and the center charger. Someone made a concept for one and tagged me on Twitter, and I can't find it. Now I want to retweet it again. Someone made one after listening to our podcast. They made the concept of like, here, put your AirPods here, put your iPhone here, Apple Watch charger there. And I've also seen multiple different iterations of the 3-in-1 charger that are way better than AirPower. I've seen several. Maybe I can pull them up in the Discord, but one was like not even a charge mat, but it was a vertical charging stand, and it made way more sense. Let me see if I can find it. I scroll back. Yeah, here it is. Mobile Drip. They're not a sponsor, obviously. I don't do that. I mean, look at this thing. You have it's kind of like a Pixel stand. You have the vertical G stand. So when you drop your phone like this, down here, you have the AirPods charger, and up here you have the Apple Watch charger. That's already better. Third parties have already thought of better solutions to this. And there's also a company that made one that's super thin, because I saw someone today trying to argue that they were trying to argue that the benefit of AirPower is that because it doesn't have the charge stand sticking up, it's because it's more portable because it's more thin. But third parties have already beat that too because they made a super super thin 3-in-1 charger that has a fold out one trio wireless charging pad. I'm sorry, there's just way too many third parties that are better. Okay, so this is what it looks like, right? So you can lay them all flat like you guys who care about AirPower can. But then it folds out if you need to. You can unfold the charge puck if you want to use nightstand mode. So there you go. They're basically already created what I'm pitching. And then you have your area for the AirPods and you have your area for the phone. One charger, $120. I guarantee you that's way cheaper than whatever Apple's working on if this does come out. Which again, I don't think it will personally. But if it does, it'll be stupid. And the main reason people will buy it is because Apple will probably make charging animations for it that are exclusive to that, and you can't get them on anything else. Let's see. The AirPower Fold. Yeah. When can we get a foldable AirPower? Do you think the iPhone XS is still a good phone in 2020? Yeah, sure. Good. We'll call it good. I only want Apple to make the AirPower charging sound the default sound for wireless charging in general. I agree. That would be nice. I want that to be default for, yeah, all wireless chargers. And when I put my Apple Watch down to charge or my AirPods, I want the little icons to show up on the lock screen. That can be done now. That could be done now. But because it's Apple and because this thing's going to cost $400, they'd probably make it an exclusive thing to that charger. They're still buried in iOS somewhere, yeah. Let's see. Barrel King. I love that you and Louise were able to pay off the house. Huge congrats, by the way. But how did you both do it with such a large loan on top of all your other monthly expenses in under a year of owning your home? I bought my home a year ago, and I can't imagine having the funds to pay it off already. Yeah, we're working on. We want to either do a podcast explaining a lot of the tactics we use. None of them are very groundbreaking. It's like the solution is BitConnect. Everyone, just buy this cryptocurrency. No, there's not like a big reveal. All of our solutions are unique to us and are very generic. Things like, I mean, the basics of it are we picked a house that wasn't too expensive and was reasonable within our budget, and we settled for something that was not like it wasn't a dream house, but it got the job done. And also lowering our monthly expenses as much as possible and cutting out the fat, like things like selling our car and looking at every single dollar we spent each month and made sure nothing was unaccounted for. I robbed a bank. Yeah. The third one was we robbed a bank. No, I'm kidding. There's a couple things we did. Oh, and the other big thing was both me and Louise pursued forms of increasing our income, basically. We didn't stand still with our jobs. So my wife looked for promotion opportunities at her business. So she looked for places that she could make more or work at a different position or work different hours that would allow her to make more. And then I also pursued, I know being a YouTuber is kind of unique and different, but I pursued other forms of content creation that ordinarily didn't seem like they would make money, but in the long run they ended up being really profitable. Things like the EV channel was a big help, actually. At first I was like, EV dedicated channel. I don't know if there's enough stuff to talk about, but man, did I underestimate how well that channel would do. And the fact that in the automotive industry, the CPMs for YouTube videos are a lot higher than the tech industry. So even if the views are lower, the CPMs are really good. So you can make a lot that way. So I was like, oh, why didn't I do this before? Because once I started doing EV videos, that's when, income can increase that way. So we didn't sit still with our income and we didn't sit still with our budget. And we picked a house that was not ideal for everything, but good enough for what we needed it. So those were the main stuff. Anyway, is the virus impacting viewership? Yes, but positively. More people are watching videos and live streams, I think. Drew robbed toilet paper from the supermarket. Yes, genius. I think if Apple releases AirPower, it will have super fast charging like Oppo. Those cheap knockoffs probably charge as slow. I super disagree with you, Lovelace. I think that because the AirPower charge mat is so complicated, it probably will max out at like 7.5 watts. Also, AirPods charge so dang slow when they're wireless charging. I know because that's pretty much the only way I charge them, but it's not something I do every night. Let me be clear about that. You do not need to charge your AirPods every night like you do your iPhone, and your Apple Watch I guess most people probably charge it every night, but you really don't need to. You could probably get by every 2 days. So this device, with the idea of I need to charge all three devices every night, is so unnecessary and so stupid. iPhones only support 7.5 watts, so there's no reason why AirPower would support more than that. Thank you, Raja. Coming back in the chat to clarify, is it actually going to cost $400? I think that's reasonable to assume because there are Qi chargers out there that do what AirPower claims, which is you can drop the charger on any point. And I forget what it's called, but there was a company that made one, and it doesn't work with 3 devices, but it does work with 2. It's, again, it's not that big, and it has a bunch of coils in it, and that one costs $200. Okay, so just to have a bunch of coils that allows you to charge at any place, charge 2 devices, that's $200. And once you factor in the Apple tax, once you factor in the rumors of them having either the A11 chip or some type of really, really high intensity CPU to manage the power, because the Qi charger that allows you to do 2 devices at once is really thick. AirPower is trying to be thinner than that. Yeah, $300 minimum, probably going to be closer to $400. I would assume because it's the Apple tax and because it's certified by Apple and everything, it would be more expensive. Like the little Apple Watch charger puck that you literally just have a lightning port you plug into and you can fold the puck up and down to charge your watch. That thing costs $80. And it's literally just a watch charger. Partner that with the complicated Qi technology they're trying to put in there. Yeah, I think $400 is very reasonable. Very reasonable. AirPower probably needs at least 30 watt. Yeah, it'll probably need it would need something like a 30 watt charge brick, but that's why I don't believe they'll release it. Still, because they canceled it. Hopefully, if your property value increases and YouTube and Louise's income is fortunate enough to grow even further, upgrading your home will be a much easier option for both of you if you've got your down payment ready to go. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Barrel King. Appreciate the congratulations. No, Apple would have to limit power already. No way it's fast charging and probably save 5 watts. I just want a flat 3-in-1 wireless charger that uses USB-C or Lightning and can be the original concept or the watch puck in the center concept with the charge anywhere feature for AirPods/phone. People are making up a problem that doesn't exist. That's the people who are defending AirPower. If you use like a 3-in-1 or a hybrid charger, you realize it's not a problem. Because what you'd be paying extra for, because again, you can get decent 3-in-1 chargers that work fine, that are endorsed and sold by Apple for like $100, and they work. What you're willing to pay $300 to $400 more for is the difference of when I'm done at the end of the day, come to the nightstand, drop my phone, take off my watch. Okay, AirPods. All right, now let's do that again with AirPower, okay? Oh, you notice something? I just did the same thing twice. Because the difference of, oh, I drop it right here, and, oh, I drop it 3 inches to the right, doesn't matter. You're spending $400 or $300 extra so you can move it slightly to the left or right. That's it. That's all the time you're saving. That's it. The Apple Watch is curved, so the mat would have to have a curved area on it. No, that's basically what an AirPower knockoff is. What the issue with developing AirPower was they couldn't find a way to have a mat that could give a charge to the Apple Watch because it's designed so differently. But the Apple Watch is what needs work, not the charge mat. But thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, X+1. I'd rather spend $350 on the HomePod rather than AirPower, but I still want it. You still want it, but you would rather spend it? Okay. My Nomad 3-in-1, I spend at least a minute every night trying to get the coils to align on the phone and even another minute on AirPods. Maybe I'm doing it wrong or I have a bad charger. To me, it sounds like you have a bad charger. I don't think the solution is a $400 AirPower charger because there are other ones out there that don't have the I need to line it up every night thing. The usable area of AirPower is so small and limited that you can put it anywhere isn't even a good one. It would make more sense if the charge mat was huge. If the charge mat was like the size of a desk, or at least like the size of a mouse pad, it would be a better argument. But the fact that the charge mat is so dang small in the first place, the usable area is still just, You're going to put your watch in the same place every night. Every night. You're not going to mix it up. You're not going to, well, tonight I'll put it on the right side. Tonight I'll put it on the center. Like, you're not going to do that. When you're charging your watch regularly, you're just going to drop it in the same place every night because humans develop habits. So why not just have a dedicated area and save yourself the $200? Or just give Qi wireless charging to the Apple Watch. Thank you. If the Series 6 had Qi charging, then all of this AirPower development would have been pointless, and you could just develop a three Qi charging pad, and boom, you can drop the Apple Watch, AirPods, iPhone in any configuration you want. Would have been cool if they added the AirPower concept in the bottom of the Pro stand. Yeah, because the Pro stand wasn't enough money as it is. It wasn't enough that it was a magnet attaching to the monitor. We also needed power supply to go through the stand as well. Excuse me. You know, they could put AirPower in the stand of the iMac, but it's honestly kind of an awkward place. I would, after using wireless chargers for a long time, I would much rather have a vertical one on my desk. I wouldn't want to have the phone sit flat on the bottom. Do you and Louise have desires to live in any other states, or are you two wanting to remain in Cal? Nah, we don't have really any long-term plans to move away or a specific state or country in mind. I mean, we daydream about, living in different countries sometimes, but nothing very concrete. Now we agree. Just give me the watch Qi. We've solved world peace. Wait, no. One of these things sounds way more doable to me, given that other smartwatches have had Qi charging before. In fact, the Apple Watch is kind of one of the only ones that doesn't have wireless charging. Standard Qi charging, I mean. It has the charge puck and anything. But to me, it just sounds like we need to redesign the Apple Watch more than anything, not the charge mat. It's going through all this work and going through all this headache just so we can charge the complicated watch. Apple should include a Qi coil in the MacBook trackpad like Samsung did in their laptops, and you can't use the laptop while charging your phone that way. Why would we want that? Why would you want to charge it that way? You can't close the laptop, but you can't use it. That sounds stupid. The biggest feature of Apple Watch 6 will be Qi. I don't know. I feel like they'd probably have to redesign the external quite a bit if they decided to give it Qi charging, and then you would have to ship it with a Qi charger of some kind. Unless they found some type of way with the Series 6 to make a hybrid of, like, it can come with a magnetic charge puck that attaches. But aren't AirTags using the charge puck too? I thought I remember hearing that rumor. We're basically redesigning the wheel when we should be redesigning the car. Or the axle, maybe. Yeah, but pretty much. That could be the Series 6 feature. Being stuck in the house has really shown me that I hate that remote with a passion. Yeah, Apple TV remote needs to be changed, please. Is the Magic Keyboard technically a wireless charger for iPad with its 3 holes? No, it's not using inductive technology, which is the idea that you have magnetic coils that align and then using their magnetic fields provide a charge. So that's not what the iPad is. It's still a port. It's a wireless charger, but it's not an inductive charger. And it's not a portless charger because there's still ports. So it's the closest the iPad's ever been to inductive charging. The use case is pretty similar. You just drop it on the case and it starts charging, and you don't have to pick up a wire to charge it, as long as the case is plugged in. So, similarly, you have to have a wire plugged into an inductive charger for an inductive charger to work. So if AirTags need a charging solution, they've done something wrong. They should at least last a year, no issue. Yeah, but no, I disagree, because AirTags, I do think they should last a year. Maybe they'll be less if they do some type of sophisticated location tracking, but they should be able to be rechargeable. I don't want to change out the batteries in anything, in AirTags especially. If AirTags require a replacement battery, then I'm probably not going to replace them. I'm going to use it for a while, and then the battery in it's going to die, and then I'm not going to replace it, and I'll just not use the product. That's more than likely what's going to happen. But if AirTags let you recharge it, either via Qi or Apple Watch charge puck or a lightning plug or something, I will charge it up. If it just gives me a push notification that says, hey, AirTags battery are dead, time to recharge, I'll be like, okay, cool. Blunk, starts recharging. If it's like, no, you have to go order a new battery for it and swap it out. I'm not going to do that. Even they need a recharging solution. Even if they have month-long batteries, they need a recharging solution. Your AirTags work with AirPower? No. No, because AirPower won't happen. Do you think Pro software is coming to iPadOS this WWDC? Yes, I do. There's no leaks or rumors to suggest it, but I do think it's happening. Apple should put reverse wireless charging on the back of the iPad. That's stupid. Reverse wireless charging, I had it on the Galaxy S10, and I realized how really pointless it was. Galaxy S10 was a great phone. I'm not docking that phone, but I realized, like, the idea of putting chargers into devices that don't have multi-day batteries is just kind of unnecessary, because anything you charge with reverse wireless charging is usually something that doesn't need to be recharged that much. That's the problem. And they were like, hey, look, you can recharge your Galaxy Buds, or you can recharge your Galaxy Watch. It's like, those things don't need to be charged daily. Your phone needs to be charged daily. So the idea that you're taking the device that doesn't last as long and giving power to something that lasts longer is unnecessary. You're not like on the go and be, oh shoot, I need to charge my watch, or I need to charge my friend's phone. And because of that, I will not use my phone and let it sit on its face. That's stupid. You wouldn't use it. And I believe there is still hardware within the 11 Pro Max to allow you to reverse wirelessly charge. Same with the iPad. It doesn't have a bunch of juice that it's ready to just give off that people can just set it down on a table and let people charge off of it. It wouldn't be fast. I promise you that. It's a 5.9 millimeter device. If you're wireless charging off an iPad, it would give you like 3 watts maximum. Let's see. How do you do sub-only mode, or is that not enabled? It's not enabled. I can enable it, but I don't want to. AirPods case could gain AirTag functionality. I misplaced my case on a near daily basis. That'd be a good idea. If they're able to put the ultra-wideband chip in AirTags, why not AirPods? What about a smart connector on the iPhone for a super fast charging stand, like how iPad Pro charges with the Magic Keyboard? The smart connector is a very, very low power port, which is why it's not fast charging. So the smart connector is limited to 5 watts on the iPad. So even if you're able to get a charge out of the keyboard case, it's going to be very, very slow. I'm not excited for it to charge the iPad. I'm more excited for it to just hold the charge. The idea that you can have your USB-C port free on the iPad and also keep the battery percentage at the same, which is what 5 watts should do. So if you put the smart connector on the iPhone, it would not be fast charging. If you wanted fast charging, you'd have to have something either Lightning or USB-C to get, above 18 watts. Do you have a case that you use on your Pro Max if you're doing something rugged? Not really. I pretty much, there's not much rugged things I do anyway, but yeah, it's almost always caseless. Sent you a DM on Discord with the AirPower Apple Watch charger. Oh! Did you make that, Anbo? Or did you just find it? Thank you! Quick mock-up. Thank you, he made it. This is what they need. Oh, dang, it's all blown out. You can't even see it. You see it that way? You can imagine it in your brain. It's basically just AirPower with the charge puck in the middle. That's all we need. Put your AirPods there, put your iPhone here, Apple Watch there, boom. You're done. You fixed all the problems. Thank you for DMing me that. Yeah, that looks perfect. Charge like $200, give it the exclusive charging animation. All done. Problem solved. Oh, you made one real quick. Oh, even better. AirPods 1 and 2 feel like a toy now that they have had Pros for like 4 months. Yeah, remember when AirPods used to be like high-end luxury items, and now they're just broke pods because there's other AirPods Pro now in their higher tiers and stuff. If 5 watt from the smart connector enough to hold the charge of you even doing anything intensive? I think it depends on the power consumption. It will probably not hold your charge if you're doing something like exporting a high-res video or playing Fortnite at 120 FPS. But if you're doing basic things like social media or watching a movie or just typing, I bet it could hold the charge. We'll see. I'll test it out because I'm definitely getting the keyboard case. So I'll figure out if it could give it a charge or hold a charge at all. We'll see. Call of Duty Warzone stream possibly. It's really awesome and free. Yeah, I don't enjoy the COD games, sorry. And I don't have my Xbox set up. Is Louise home too? She is. She's in the living room hanging out, just chilling. We need Louise on the live stream. You want me to ask her? I can ask. Why don't we ask? If how many people? Well, if there's enough people asking for Louise on the live stream, we'll bring her on. We'll see. Do you have that case you use your Pro Max if you do something? No. The battery case was unnecessary too. I remember testing that thing, and my battery life is still killer. Everyone's saying sure. My iPad dropped 10% after 2 hours of video watching. Oof. Okay, everyone's saying yes. I'll ask her. Right, I'll be right back. Hey, hon, you want to be on the live stream? They're asking you if you can come on. You don't have to. Here. She agreed.
Where's the camera? That?
This one. You can see yourself on there.
Hi.
She's hanging out.
Having spaghetti.
Ooh, that looks yummy. She made amazing meatballs last night. What did we put in them?
New turkey.
Turkey. Were there chopped onions? The onions made us cry a ton, though. Especially me. You didn't cry that much at all, actually.
So what are we talking about?
I don't know. What did they ask? Is Louise home too? And we need her on a live stream. So that's it. As long as you're here. You made Louise arrive on the episode. You and Louise aren't planning to buy a Tesla anytime soon, but when the time comes, are you more so leaning towards a Model 3 or a Model Y? That's like the first question that comes up. What do you think,
I'm
hon?
leaning towards Model Y.
I think I am too. I think I'll talk about this later today, but they announced the tow hitch option, which I think is kind of cool.
We never tow anything.
We never tow anything, but what it would be nice for is the bike rack. If you wanted to take bikes with you, it's a lot easier to do it because my family used to have a Chevy Trailblazer, and they had a little hitch on the back, and we could put like 4 bikes on that thing when we went mountain biking.
You haven't been mountain biking in a really long time.
In a long time now, yeah. But
so would you start?
If we're gonna have the car for a long time, you'd want to be prepped.
It's true.
Oh, they're asking if you want AirPower. Do you know what AirPower is?
Yes. No, I don't care. I have an iPhone 6, so I can't even
And you've been using your iPod Nano a lot lately too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You like it?
I like it.
It's
yes.
amazing that thing still works.
And has all my old music on it.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me feel very nostalgic.
Those were the days. The days when you just bought music and it stayed on the iPod even though it had no Wi-Fi or anything.
I know. And now I can't add any music to it, right? Because it's like linked to an iTunes account.
You can, but you'd have to buy it.
Oh.
Like you can't put Apple Music on the iPod because people would just load them
Put
up
everything.
and then cancel their subscription. So, yeah.
That's why I used to collect CDs, which is Drew's nemesis.
I don't like CDs, but
You don't like physical media.
you did a good job cleaning up the room anyway, so we're good. We're clean.
All right, what's next?
What brand of spaghetti?
Like the sauce or the noodles? I think it's like Winko brand noodles.
Winko noodles. That's good. Oh, and yeah, you still have the iPod sock.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Where is that?
I think it's in the living room, but
I'll go get it.
okay. These are the best questions you guys have. Are you moving to Japan? Don't think so. We've never been there. Will we ever visit Canadian fans? What, both of them? I don't know if we'll make a whole trip for that. We want to go to Canada sometime. I don't know if it'll be to visit fans, though. Do you two ever have different opinions on Apple products, like one of you hates something but the other likes it? Okay, that's a better question. I'll ask her that when she comes back. She's trying to find the iPod sock. We have identical guest futons. Yeah, it's IKEA, isn't it? They were cheap. Is there an Apple product that I really like that you really don't like?
AirPower?
I don't like it.
Oh,
I don't like it.
I think you like iPads more than I do.
You don't like iPads at all?
It's not that I'm not against iPads.
Okay.
But I just prefer MacBooks or like something with a physical keyboard. I know there's a keyboard coming, but at that point, just buy a laptop. Like I don't need to touch the screen and have a physical keyboard.
You don't want both.
Well,
That makes sense.
I haven't tried it yet. But that Amazon keyboard that you had...
That was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Oh, my God.
So this is the sock.
Yeah, it's blurry, but...
Oh. And it's Apple brand.
Yeah, they actually made those at a time.
I had a green one, too, but then I was like, I'm a minimalist, so I only need one.
Yeah, exactly.
And I got rid of the green one.
It's cute.
And then this is...
She actually keeps it in there.
Blurry.
Sorry, it's such a narrow field of focus.
That's okay. Can you see how many songs are on here? Does it say?
I don't know how you check that. There's a songs section. Wonder what the battery life is on this thing.
Well, I haven't charged it since that first time.
Really?
Nope.
Well, it's below halfway, but man, it's incredible how something so old is still able to be so thin.
Yeah.
They made
Imagine
products
if
so tiny.
your phone was this small.
Oh, I know. It'd be really hard to get it that small, and it's still 30 pin too.
Here's
Way back
a comparison. There's thickness.
Why didn't I make a video on the keyboard? Because it was that bad. I was like, this isn't worth it. It was so bad. I was like, I'm not even gonna give this thing the screen time because the trackpad was so horrible. When COVID-19 is over, will you do videos outside, like asking people questions about Apple products?
Like
No?
Billy on the street.
Yeah. We should try
What do you
that.
think of the new iPhone? Here's $1.
We're not like, I don't like being in crowds of people or being in public anyway, so
Yeah.
it's never been, even before the pandemic, I didn't really do that kind of stuff.
You guys don't know this, but Drew's actually very introverted.
Yeah.
Even though he's got a huge presence.
I'm very
online.
extroverted when I'm alone.
Oh, did you tell them about your thing?
Yeah, no one asked about it, surprisingly.
He's got this cotton ball on his arm.
I had a cotton ball on my arm because I had my blood tested today. Not because of the pandemic. This is completely unrelated to that. I'm just on some new meds, and they wanted to make sure I didn't have any kind of reaction to it, so they're testing my blood.
It's for his psoriasis, by the way.
Mm-hmm. So
What
we're
else?
testing everything.
More
Rain,
hiking and adventure vlogs. Yes, I agree.
I want to go on
We've
more
become
hikes.
lazy. Especially me.
Well, there's a lot of places got shut down.
Nature's
So it's
not
kinda
shut down for the most part.
Some of nature is, but we can find ways. I want to go on a hike. I want to go somewhere.
Yeah.
I think the new iPhone needs more megapixels. What do you think, honey?
How many are on this one? Wait, let me guess.
Okay.
24?
Less.
Oh, that sucks.
That's
At least 24.
You want 24
12?
at least. Yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
got 12.
Well, it's better than my iPhone 6, which has 0.5.
0.5. I think yours has 8. You have an 8
megapixels?
megapixel camera.
Wait, so from 8 to 12, it's like that.
Because there's a
big
lot
of a
more to
difference?
cameras than megapixels. You can have a lot of megapixels.
Tell me more.
Okay. A lot of it has to do with the size of the pixels and how the lenses in the computer interprets the photo. So you can have a really, really great 12 megapixel photo and a terrible 100 megapixel photo.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Samsung I had was 108 megapixels.
So, is it more about like how far it can view rather than the quality?
It's more like how much detail you get out of those pixels. So not all pixels are created equal.
I need a explanation video on this.
It's really complicated. It's been 12 megapixels for like 5 years now.
Ooh.
Yeah, it hasn't changed too much. Would Louise be open to upgrading her phone to the upcoming Pixel 4a?
Yeah.
You would?
Temporarily.
Oh, okay.
I
Not to keep.
tried was it the 3?
Mm-hmm.
Pixel 3, the pink one. I really liked that when I tried it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a video you can watch.
Yeah, that's still on
Somewhere.
Taylor's Talk. That's how everyone remembers you, as the girl who really likes Pixel. But
I don't like them like as a company.
Yeah.
I just like that phone.
I
used
just
it for,
try to
like, a
remind.
month.
Yeah. You had a while. We didn't return that one. We had that, and then we just eventually sold it because we weren't using it. But I remind everyone, like, you like most phones you use. There's not many phones you like. You're happy with your 6, and let's clear the record since we're on Talos of Tech, so we can just talk about tech. You don't want the new SE when it comes out.
No, I don't.
Even
Although
though
you've offered it to me many times.
Okay, thank you. Just so they're
I'm
aware.
okay.
You don't want longer battery. You don't want wireless charging or better camera.
It's not that I don't want these things. Of course, who wouldn't want a better phone, better camera, and better battery? But I don't need it. That's the difference. Want versus need, and I'd rather put that money towards something more important. Like paying off this house, which we did. So it's choices, small choices like that.
So now what do we put it towards?
Second house.
we can get a mortgage on AirPower when it comes out, because it's gonna be like $8,000, I think.
Really? Don't buy it.
Well, $8,000 down payment, $100,000 loan to pay it off.
Well, you are planning on buying a MacBook Pro.
That's
later
true.
This year, so that's pricey.
Yeah, that's up there. I think we'll be able to make it though. We'll swing it. We'll sell the Mac Mini. We won't need that anymore, and then iMac Pro will go over here.
Sounds good. What about this screen?
That's a good question. I don't know. I might put it over there because
and have 4 screens.
Well, I'll keep the MacBook closed because if the iMac's not there, then there's only 2.
Oh. So what are you doing with the iMac?
I'll put it here, and then it'll be my live streaming setup. Okay. So I'll still have it. Like I could edit videos on that if I wanted to. But the MacBook Pro I'm planning on buying is the best CPU, best GPU available. So that will...
Only the best for Andrew.
So that will probably make it perform better. Let's see. Since Louise is more of a Mac person than an iPad person, what's one feature she'd like to see on the Mac? Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't know. I'm not a very techie person.
Are you happy with the MacBook, the last one we had? You wouldn't change it?
I prefer a bigger...
You like the larger
body.
ones?
Yeah.
You remember that 16-inch one we had a while back?
Vaguely.
We returned it, but...
Didn't that one not have, like, as much power? And
that was the base model. But it actually... I edited several videos on it. It was able to keep up just as fast as the iMac did. And that's the cheapest one, so I'm excited to see, like, the higher tier ones. Would you both recommend Yosemite as a honeymoon spot for me and my fiance? We're planning a wedding for June 2021. And I'm trying to decide on an awesome honeymoon spot.
Well, congrats. And yes, I would recommend it. I've never been there, but I would recommend it. I've seen lots of nice pictures.
Gorgeous.
And if you like them outdoors and hiking and stuff and camping.
That's cool.
I really want to go camping, but we have no camping gear and we have no place to store camping gear.
That makes it hard.
Except for your closet, now that that's clean.
That's true.
Fill it with stuff.
Camping gear is more spacious than you'd think, though.
Spacious?
I mean, big, like it takes up more space than you think.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like a big tent would be bigger than the bags we have in there.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get a tiny tent. The kind you just lay down in.
I used to have a sleeping bag.
Remember, have you guys ever heard Jim Gaffigan's stand-up on camping?
No, I haven't.
Maybe, what does he say stuff about? He is not a happy camper. Maybe he's just camping. We could sleep in a bag and lay on the floor, lay on the ground outside. It's so much fun. I like camping, but I like his comedy bits on camping because it is kind of silly. Funny. Breathing outside air is now illegal. Darn. Oh well. Let's see. Ask Louise how she feels about you guys buying an RV or Model X or something and becoming one of those hip, cool millennials on YouTube living out their car for videos. That's...
That last part of the sentence I'm not even going to say. I think that's cool. Model X is actually my favorite Tesla.
Mm-hmm. You like that one.
Yeah, because of the
doors.
Mm-hmm. And also it's bigger, right? More space.
That's currently the biggest one you can get.
Yeah.
Before Cybertruck comes out, then
I would say that's the more family car, which we're not starting a family anytime soon. Mm-mm. But yeah, I would be down for car camping or van life. I watch some van life people on YouTube, and it seems fun. Mm-hmm. But it would be hard for Drew though with his tech videos. He needs like an actual room to film in and edit all his stuff, so it wouldn't really work unless he decided to give up the tech part and just made it more like a vlogging style.
It's not even so much the cameras or the equipment, it's more the internet.
Really?
The internet's the hardest part. If you're on the go, just trying to find places that have good upload that you can post to regularly as often as we do. Yeah, I mean, you could vlog it, but, I mean, we just bought a house. We just paid it off.
We could rent out this house and live in our car.
We'll just dump all our money into our property and then leave and live in a car and just have the property sit there. But yeah.
He doesn't understand.
I understand. It would be fun to do for like, I wouldn't want to do it like forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'd want to do like a long trip.
Yeah.
Like a big road trip where we go
I'd want
across
to do
the
it
country.
in Australia. Like,
that could be fun.
drive around the coast and then go to the outback where there's no people. There are some people there. But
It's a low populated country compared to here. It's more populated, but yeah, we want to go to Australia some point soon, just
once
to
all
visit.
the virus stuff dies down.
Once that dies down, hopefully soon. Let's see. With 5G, you can upload anywhere. Oh no, wait, yeah, no, that doesn't work. Taylosive team, do you plan to review older iPhones with new update? Ooh.
We have an original iPhone, right? Or
Yeah.
the 3?
I wonder if he means like review things like your iPhone.
Oh.
Like using the iPhone 6 in 2020 and we can put you in it.
Yeah, we can do that.
I bet people would love that. Because anytime
It'll be
you
mostly
show up,
complaints, though.
everyone's like, Louise should take over. Louise should do tech videos.
No.
I'm on board with that.
The iPhone 6 and me, it's a love-hate relationship. Like, I love that I paid for it once, like, 3 years ago, and I'm still able to use it.
16 gigs, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually have 2 iPhone 6s. His sister is using the other one, which has the
128?
128. So she gets to enjoy it, and I get the crappy one, but that's okay.
You could swap with her, but you haven't.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not like that big a deal. I just delete apps when I run out of space.
Doesn't the phone automatically delete apps?
Yes, it's so annoying.
Didn't you like one time you were on your phone and they were like, they deleted calculator. They're like, oh, we're out of storage.
Are you that desperate?
We're gonna delete the calculator because that takes up too much space. That's like how bad it got. But I'm amazed you're like, because we could totally get you the SE when it comes out.
I just need to figure out like storage solutions for photos and videos because I don't really look at photos or videos that often. I just need to put it on like a hard drive and have my phone completely empty. And I know you'd rather have everything on the cloud, but I see that as like rent. You're paying rent for someone else to store your stuff when I'd rather just have it all in a dedicated place. I'm paying a one-time fee for storage. It's like buying the house rather than renting.
Right.
I understand like you want the high quality stuff.
Well, it's not just that. For me, it's more convenient because I have so many of these we started a whole box full of these little external drives, and maybe it's because we use different amounts of data. You probably don't create as much.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mine's just a standard.
I'm coming close to just starting to deleting older stuff because I don't save any of the raw files of my videos. I delete those like the day after they're posted. It's like, okay, the video's uploaded, there's no errors, okay, I can delete it. And the only thing I save is like the completed video file, just in case YouTube exploded and we lost all the videos. But now I'm starting to think, well, this video isn't like, it's not aging well, you know? Like the last minute leaks before the iPhone SE comes out, are people going to want to watch that 10 years from now?
That's a good point.
Probably not.
Things that aren't timeless, maybe you should
So maybe just going through and just finding the videos that are not going to age well.
Right.
Maybe
or
some will age well.
What's the video that's taking up the most space? That's what I tend to do is I delete the longest videos first.
Right. So I'm getting to that point now where I'm like, well, YouTube hasn't exploded yet, so maybe I should just count that as unlimited cloud storage. But I've also had, the other thing that scares me from local storage is I've had hard drives fail on me, and that sucks.
Really?
And I've never had a cloud service lose my stuff. I've had lots of cloud services in the past between Amazon cloud service, Google Photos, YouTube, iCloud. Yeah, $10 a month for 2 terabytes, but eventually we're going to fill that up. I'm scared of that day.
Right.
Because they don't have a...
Wait, it's only 2 terabytes?
That's quite a bit, though.
Yeah, but you have like 100 terabytes of hard drive.
No, not 100. Maybe like 20.
But still, you filled up the 20, but you haven't filled up the 2? That doesn't make sense.
I'm not putting like my work footage on iCloud.
Oh, is that just your personal
That's
stuff?
just like the videos I take on the phone or photos I take on the phone. That goes back up to the cloud. But like I have paid, one time I bought a hard drive that was like 5 terabytes. And I spent a couple $100 on it. I was like, okay, cool, I can put all my videos on it. And then it just died.
Oh, sure.
So everything on it was gone. And
How
I'm like,
long after you bought it did that happen?
not long. It was like a couple months. It was like
I
right
would
after.
reach out to that company and be like,
It was right after the warranty expired. I did reach out to
that's
them.
annoying.
Yeah. So after that, I
Wait,
just lost
it was
a lot
only
of.
a couple month warranty? It seems...
Well, it wasn't, top of the line hard
okay.
drive, but it
So
was.
invest in quality stuff.
Invest in quality, or I haven't lost anything on the cloud yet.
Was that the only time you've ever had a hard drive fail?
I think so.
So then it wasn't necessarily because it was a hard drive, it was because it was a low quality hard drive.
Just knowing it's possible, though, scares me.
Yeah.
I just don't like knowing that something could go wrong with this, or, something happens to it, you lose it.
Well, doesn't Apple sell those, like, giant storage things?
I don't think they make them. They have third parties they sell to people, but the jellyfish thing is like $40,000. But that's more for like
thing?
It's called a jellyfish server, but it's super expensive and it gets really complicated. People have a billion storage solutions.
Questions?
Vinny says he goes back and watches my old videos once in a while. Well, that's good. See, those are stored on the cloud because of YouTube. Does Louise not trust Apple in that why she doesn't like the cloud?
It's not that I don't trust them, but I don't want to pay for
it's just the
unnecessary service.
The monthly.
But at the same time, like, Google also has its faults because don't they use your data, and that's why it's free.
Google Photos they have access to.
Right.
Yeah, that's not private. iCloud that Apple doesn't have access to though. So they don't use that data, but Google does to train their algorithms and stuff.
That's why it's not free. It's more private.
But I'm as a creator just kind of given up on privacy online. I'm just like
you're a slave to the internet.
I think it's a losing battle. It's like, yeah, companies are doing best they can. Well, some companies are. Some companies aren't when it comes to like online privacy. But it's if I had to guess what it's going to be like 100 years from now, I'm guessing there's not going to be any. It's going to be like the government's not going to find me. I downloaded this one VPN and that protected me for the next 100 years. No, it's like they're in the future. Our kids and their kids are just going to care less and less. Like our grandparents are probably less comfortable with the idea of buying a smart speaker with a microphone and an internet connection that's plugged in at all times. But we're kind of like, yeah, it's fine. I don't think they're hearing that much.
Siri creeps me out on the HomePod in our living room. She just goes off randomly. And like last night, I was getting ready to take a shower, and the door was open, and I heard her say something, what did she say? Software. And she kept repeating it. And Drew was in the other room, and I was like, hun, Siri's talking. And then I was like,
it's weird.
I responded to her, and I was like, what are you saying, Siri? And she's like, sorry if I'm an airhead or something. Like, she said like a really random sentence. I'm like, who's talking to you? I don't remember
either. But yeah, she goes off randomly. But Google has too.
Yeah.
Remember?
And Alexa. Alexa was really creeping me out. So I unplugged her.
She would start making noises. It wasn't even talking. It was just bling, 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 bling. And I'm like, what are you doing? There's an update or something. It's just...
Yeah.
Yeah. So they all suck, is the honest truth. Which do you prefer? You use the Google Assistant in the kitchen and Siri everywhere else.
There's Google in the bathroom.
Oh, we have Google in the bathroom,
I
too.
prefer Google because most of the time I just listen to music through the speakers. It's not like I'm asking her or them, what's the weather today? I like Google because I'll say, play the song, and then they'll play like a whole mix based off of that song. Where with Siri, I'll say, play a song, she'll just stop after the song. I'm like, no, I want to keep hearing more songs.
They should change that.
Play that funky music.
That's a nice feature, that it just keeps going.
Yeah, it's like YouTube. YouTube makes mixes based off of...
Like, the autoplay stuff, right after.
Yep.
That makes sense. Beryl King said, thanks for the congratulations. I've been hugely impressed by you and Drew and your accomplishments so far with the success of the YouTube channels, your marriage relationship, and also have the house paying off. To really appear to be living your best life. Also, have you both watched Tiger King?
Yes.
We both did watch Tiger King.
We binge watched Tiger King.
We're not paying for Netflix, though. Don't tell anyone.
Oh, yeah. We're using a friend's account.
A friend came over.
Once.
When was this? Like 4 months ago?
A long time ago.
It was like 4 months ago, and they were like, oh, we want to watch this movie, so they signed into their Netflix account on our TV.
What was it? Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, we wanted to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp, so they signed into their Netflix on our TV,
And we just never
we
left
never
it.
signed them out.
And she's okay with it. She doesn't
Yeah,
really
she
watch
knows.
Netflix.
Actually, we were looking at the recently played tab on the Netflix, and I don't think she's using it.
It's all our stuff.
It's all our stuff. We can't find anything that we haven't been watching, so it feels like she has Netflix. But
What was that?
was there a noise?
Yeah.
What was it making?
I'm very jumpy.
I'm sorry. We have all these devices. Louise is more minimalist than Matt Davila. You know, it's interesting. A lot of them are saying like, "You're very minimalist," because I feel like when we're cleaning stuff, I'm more inclined to get rid of stuff than you are.
I'm like an aspiring minimalist.
Okay.
You can't. Yeah, I'm not defined as a minimalist yet.
No.
I wouldn't consider myself.
A lot of
'Cause
people
we still
think you
have
are.
like random junk. Like, hold on a second.
Uh-oh. Here comes the random junk drawer.
It's not a junk drawer, but
Oh.
there's this tiny trash can I have. It serves no purpose, but it's so cute, and I just want to keep it. So
It is
yeah,
kinda
I'm not a
cute.
minimalist. Although I try to keep things like clean and tidy, which is why I wanted to clean Drew's office.
Mhm.
And I still want to help him more because his cable management is like driving me crazy, but it's his space, so he can decide.
Cable management's tricky because I've discovered you can make cables really, really neatly organized, but then very, very inefficient when you need them. Like when you need to pull them out again, because there's a lot of cables I need to use regularly. It's like the camera cables or the lights or the
Well, then
chargers.
I just mean like your computer stuff that doesn't get unplugged
Yeah,
regularly.
that stuff could be
Yeah.
organized better. But a lot of it's like, I need this to be
Wait, so
just
is this
out.
a yes that you want me to manage your cables?
Some of them. Some
Okay,
of them I
some of
need
them.
I need to just
I got
be
permission.
out. There's certain cables that just need to be around, but not like tucked away. Otherwise it slows down workflow.
Yeah, I understand that.
So it's tricky because I need to like charge the camera or stuff like that. But what else did they ask?
Someone said.
Oh, what would you think about Tiger King? Did you like that show?
Yes, I did. Did
It was
Carol
exciting.
Baskin kill her husband? Yes, she did.
Louise is convinced.
I don't know. I don't like her, even though she's
I don't
supposed
know.
to be like the good guy.
To me, like after watching that show, it honestly, it felt like they were all doing the same thing. That's what I couldn't figure
Yeah.
out. Felt like,
The only
okay,
thing-
she's profiting off of tigers being held in cages.
Right.
He's profiting off of tigers being held in cages. But they hate each other because one like touches them and the other one doesn't touch the tigers. One has way more tigers, or one breeds them and one doesn't breed them. But she used to breed them.
Yeah, and
I'm
he
like-
used to not breed them, so they just kind of like flip flop.
Why can't we just not have them in cages?
Yeah.
Like, why are there tigers in North America? They're not
That's
local.
a good question.
How did they get here? At some
Both.
point, we would just started bringing them over, and
Yep.
I'm saying draw the line there. Just leave them where they're from. And if like they're wounded or something, and you want to raise them in captivity, that's fine. But then just let them back.
Yeah.
I am such a amateur on the subject. I have
Same.
no idea what I'm talking about, so don't take anything I say.
But this is why I refuse to go to zoos. I don't want to.
Yeah, we don't support that. Also, like, it looks cute or fun or whatever to hold like a baby tiger or to pet one or something, but I would not pay what they were saying they were charging.
Like
They were
$600.
paying like $600 to go pet tigers. I'm like, okay, it's not that cute.
Right.
$600?
For the
Could-
tour.
You could buy like 2 AirPower charge mats for that.
Everything's always tech related.
I'm trying to bring it back to tech.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Drew, that if you have a spare computer that can be on 24/7, you can make your own cloud server and host it on the internet somewhere so you can access your computer remotely and save files to the machine? I don't
What?
really have a spare computer lying around. Every computer I have is being used for something.
Wait, my MacBook Pro from 2009.
Oh yeah, that could do some. I don't even know if that could do much.
Probably not.
I have a legit relationship question. Does the toilet paper go over or under? I'm glad that we agree on our views on everybody in that show. They're all equally wrong.
Exactly. I say over.
That's what we have, right?
That is what we have. But
I never knew anyone did it otherwise.
yeah, some people like to do under, which makes
It's
it
one of
hard.
those things I see people get unnecessarily passionate about.
Mhm.
Whenever I saw that debate, I was like, who the heck
Heck
cares?
Who the? Nice save.
You can still grab it either way. I have heard a logical explanation as to why people do under, though.
Why?
It's good if you have pets because dogs or cats, if they like play with the toilet paper roll, will almost always push it downwards, and if it's under, then it won't
Unless
unroll.
they're skilled and they go like this.
Yeah, if they can do it the other way, I guess you're screwed. But I mean, most cats or dogs, if they play on them, if you do the toilet paper under, it won't unroll.
Yeah.
It'll just flip around. If you do over, it will unroll. So we don't have pets, so there's no benefit to doing under. But I've heard that logic and been like, oh, okay. Then
You
do
can
under.
just keep your pets out of the bathroom.
Even better.
Just close the door. They can't. They don't have thumbs to open the door.
It's so much easier now because we don't have any toilet paper, so there's no debate anymore.
We don't have.
We almost ran out, didn't we?
Yeah, except we bought some.
We found you called like
I called 9
bunch of
stores
and finally found one that had some. They were very limited, but we bought some. We were like, oh. So we got it. We made it work.
We need like rechargeable toilet paper that just charge it and it makes more.
Rechargeable toilet paper when.
Yes.
I just feel like a bad human when I go to zoos.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad. You can go to zoos if you want. I just spending money to look at animals. I'll just look at the internet.
I have so much massive respect for those like animals. Like the
For
way
the animals.
I mean like when they're playing with them, like the Tiger King guy would just walk around them and push them and cuddle with them like fully grown tigers, and I'm like, you could not pay me enough money to do that.
Yeah.
I would be so.
You're saying you respect the tigers or the Tiger King?
The tigers, not the Tiger King. I don't have any respect for the people. Anybody who gets that close to a wild animal like that, even if they've been grown up around humans, like just knowing something like that could kill you if it wanted to at any moment. I'm just like, I would never do that.
Yeah.
I would never get close.
So you respect the tigers for not eating the humans?
No, I respect them. Like, I would not play with them. I would not push them around, or I would not try to contain them. I would just, like, if I ever saw a tiger in the wild, I would,
Back away
Back
while
away.
you push your friend in front.
I would never look at myself as equal to that animal.
Yeah.
If I'm ever in the presence of that animal, it is in charge. I will stand back. I'm terrified of those things, but amazed by them at the same time. It's like it's a fear-respect combo type thing.
All right, how do we bring this back to a tech topic?
Oh, okay. iPhone videos dropping in like 2 minutes about the
What is
notch
it about?
shrinking
Okay.
potentially, and why Apple could and could not, kind of weighing both. Not really saying this will happen or this won't happen, just kind
I
of
need to sneeze. Sorry.
exploring the idea. Sorry, she's got to sneeze. We got to wrap up here anyway. Does Louise remind you of Kim Kardashian? I don't really. She just dabbed. Kind of downward dabbed. I don't really follow Kim. I don't really know much about her. But Louise is prettier than her,
I didn't sneeze.
whoever she is.
Kim Possible?
Kim Kardashian.
Oh, I thought you guys were talking about Kim Possible, which is why I went like.
Oh, that's why you did that.
Yeah.
Does Louise prefer Touch ID or Face ID? You've used both
Yeah.
pretty extensively.
I'd say Face ID. Because it's nice to not have to touch it.
Yeah, we can just look at it and
Yep.
be done. Okay, that's fair. Well, guys, we should probably wrap up because I'm hungry, and you're not going to like me when I'm hungry. So, tech video dropping shortly. Stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the donations, your Twitch Primes, and thank you, Louise, for joining us today. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Thanks
Bye,
for hanging out.
guys.
Bye-bye. Take care.